Bitcoin is pumping, and here is why. Massive liquidation, accumulation, a wave of short positions liquidated, a dollar dump on the index. Man, the yen is kicking some butt. Did say it. Right now, Bitcoin is retesting the 87,000 resistance level. Is the breakout inevitable? Welcome back, Crypto Crew. It's your boy Tom here, bringing you the hottest in Bitcoin and crypto action. If you're ready to dive into today's market analysis, give us a like. Make sure you hit subscribe. Don't forget to come on over to X and follow us on X, where we talk Bitcoin and crypto all day, every day. All right. What's the market overview? Bitcoin is expected to break above 89,000, potentially triggering a massive short squeeze and a major upside reversal. Now, we were talking about this yesterday. Ethereum is totally oversold, currently grabbing liquidity, a move that mirrors Bitcoin's 2020 setup before its massive bull run. If we look at Bitcoin, the hashtag rate is exponential growth, suggesting price action is about to follow the bullish momentum. Negative funding rates are really historically a signal for a bottom, and really they're coming into play right now because we've been talking about, of course, global liquidity at all-time highs. So U.S. inflation is dropping harder than expected. It's increasing the likelihood of a rate cut. We've been talking about this. Jerome Powell, Donald Trump, I think they should just get into the ring and go at it. I put my money on Trump. Trump outweighs him probably by about 30 pounds, and he's probably got a longer reach. So I would think Powell really wouldn't last too long in the ring with Trump, as long as he doesn't tire Trump out, because I don't think Trump's got much stamina. So it might be one of those matches where people are running around in circles in the ring. Picture that. That would be quite funny. Anyway, let's zoom into the 4-hour chart on Bitcoin. We've been talking about this. It's a true definition of a bullish pattern, technical analysis chart pattern that suggests a continuation of an upward trend. Now, if this is short term 4 hour, so we had basically the double bottom right here. Marketplace has come up and has been trading in this pattern for quite a while, really quite boring. Kind of broke out, came back in and tried to retest the low. We finally got the slight breakout that we need, but we have not got above that 89,000 level yet, which is really, really, really important to spike. So really bull pennant, it's a period of consolidation within a small symmetrical triangle, which is this right here, the pennant, right? Or the flag. I like the word flag better. Before breaking out to the upside. And that breakout will confirm the continuation of the short term upward movement. But of course, when we go long term, we got a huge upward movement, right? So we're talking right here, massive movement. Now, on the daily chart, we've been wrestling with this and we've been talking about this. We've been in like an 81-day resistance, constantly pushing us down, trying to get us down to the lower levels of that 68,000 that we were talking about. All right, so hasn't occurred. I think that, well, we could talk about hypotheticals all you want, right? I mean, but it would have been, we still have a chance for it, but it's a great level to buy. Overall, this coin is headed much higher. Like we said before, like the girl on the YouTube channel, she has extra 17 cents. She says, put it into Bitcoin. Yeah, stack your coins. Definitely invest. Definitely diversify. The world is changing. Modern finance is shifting, and believe me, I see it. I've been around a long time, and the mold is being broken. From what I see, the paradigm is being shattered. It's a complete paradigm shift. We're entering into another world. We're really entering into another world. So, on the daily charts, Bitcoin's been wrestling with 81-day downtrend, but now flirting with the critical EMA resistance up in this level right here. Now, I believe, okay, we're starting to break out. I do believe that we need to get above this 89,000 to clear this. Like the EMA ribbons act like a magnet, okay? What they do is they draw price when the price is way below the EMA. Well, we're talking about mean reversion, right? If we were going to talk about mean reversion trading, the theory is that everything always snaps back to the middle. Yet the middle is always a moving middle. Because the price is moving. So if the price is moving down, the middle is actually slightly shifting down. So if you're thinking of a bell curve, the mean is actually moving down as the price moves. Now, the biggest movements occur in the tail of a bell curve. So the biggest snaps occur when we have the strongest movement in either direction. Either upward or downward. When you're in the tail, picture a bell curve in your mind. When you're in the tail where it's really, really tight, it snaps back the hardest and the fastest. And it can shift if the marketplace is truly going into an upward trend from a downward trend. It could actually shift the momentum. So what I'm getting at right here is, like, think of the EMA ribbons or any type of moving average as like a magnet. Prices gets drawn back up through it. If it's truly in a downward movement, it's going to be rejected and sent down quickly below the previous lows. Okay, so that's something, I just want you to just think about. We could probably give a lesson on that. That would probably be really cool to talk about. But right now, as it stands, we need to break above, say, 89,000, 90,000 in the EMA ribbons to break away from the magnetic qualities of the EMA pulling us back down. So once we break that magnetic quality, okay, once we break the magnetic, now the ribbons are going to shift and the marketplace can actually travel higher. Okay, so think of it that way. All right, so on the weekly chart, like we talked about the weeklies. I don't know if I have my weekly chart ready. I got my 4-hour chart and a bullpen, which we could talk about. But on the weekly chart, away from the short-term noise, which we said yesterday, Bitcoin is definitely breaking away from the EMA ribbons. Okay, now this is the daily. I could probably switch this to weekly, just so I could make my point. Probably. Yeah, here we go. Right now we're just, this is the weekly. Let's fatten this up a little bit so we can actually see it a little bit better. Let's get to this so I don't screw up my chart. But we need to get above, like we're starting to finally break free of this on the weeklies. Okay, now there's still that magnetic quality pulling us down a little bit. But like I said, once we break through, like, right, I would say, like, on the weekly, it would say that we got to get through 94. Okay. If I go a little bit tighter, here's my 90,000 I was talking about. Okay. So it's all there. We just got to be patient with this thing. We just got to be patient. And, patience is a virtue. So let's just stick with that. All right. So Bitcoin's repeating the same setup that led to really a rally last night. Same structure, same breakout signs. This might be, like I said yesterday, the last easy entry. But, okay. We don't want to chase the market. We want to kind of probably, we want to get in the train before the train moves. All right, so we want to go over to what was happening back in 2024 and 2025, and we can see the same exact bull flag that occurred before the huge rally of 2024. Right in here, we had the same exact thing. Now, I just described what a bull flag was. Okay, so in reality, where's my darn, that's not what I want. Where is it? Oh, it's over here. Somebody moved it. Let me get my brush out right here. We had the same exact tightening that we had, right? That we described. We had a slight upward movement, right? And we came into the penitent and then finally broke out, and look at that rally that we had. Now we're seeing the same type of thing right here. Okay, marketplace is tightening, 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 tightening. Boom. Looking for a rally. All right, so let's go on over to, we did the hashtags already. We talked about Ethereum. Okay. Ethereum itself, global liquidity is going to affect Ethereum and all coins. Okay, now we've been talking about this. The money supply is at all-time highs while the U.S. inflation is cooling. there's that one hurdle that we talked about, the political rift between Jerome Powell and Donald Trump. And like I said, I think it would be great if they could go into a ring and finally, duke it out. But before we move on, I want to make sure that, you are totally aware of our crypto crew trading community. It's totally free. All right. Just click the link. It'll take you over to our site where you can actually join. We're dropping insane alpha and trading opportunities daily, from breakout setups to long-term gems. We got you covered. We want you to follow, we want you to follow us. We want you to be part of our trading community. We want you to be part of a group that has the same goals in mind, working together and working for, for some profits for our future, right? To build our future together. So also make sure that if you want to, you could follow us on our preferred broker. We want you to trade with a solid broker. Check out our trusted broker link below. Low fees, fast execution, perfect for our strategies. Join the crew, level up your trading, and let's stack some profits and some stories together. All right, so we talked about Ethereum, we talked about the global liquidity, and we talked about basically how, once the U.S. rate cut finally lands, you know, the marketplace is going to take off. Now, we said in Ethereum, which is real important, I want to hammer it home, okay? We said in an X post on Ethereum way back when that BlackRock is basically the first major player with Mellon Bank. Remember the how's your melon smelling Helen thing? Well, I want you to make sure that you go back and you basically make sure you see right here our post. Uh, Bank of New York Mellon, right? 50 trillion under custody, just launched the on-chain data of Ethereum. What more do you need? It's first. Come on. Ethereum's oversold. There's bullish divergence forming on the dailies. I told you to check out the Ethereum, and I should have put it up. I don't know, why I didn't, but I should have put up the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio. We got the dollar taking a pounding on the index. It all leads to one thing. The explosion and the repositioning long for all the major players. Well, the major players have been accumulating coin. The whales have been accumulating coin, but it's the retail is going to end up chasing their tail right now. They're actually going to miss the breakout of the bullpen, in my opinion. Anyway. So that's it for today's market update, Crypto Crew. Make sure that you smash the like button, hit subscribe. Make sure you follow us on X, where we talk about Bitcoin all day and every day. Remember, do your own research. These are just my opinion. To trade with your head, not over it. And as a short-term trader, remember, always enjoy the party, dance near the door. And we'll see you in the next update. Cheers.